Hello, Jamie Romine here. I hope all of you are doing well. Tonight's title, Learned Helplessness. I had not actually heard this until I watched Robert's training about it, and it seems to be a very common thing, or at least that's what they're putting a lot of depression on. Learned helplessness is one of the three enemies he spoke about. Three enemies of success, to be fair. One being the path of best resistance, and then I forgot what the other was. I didn't write it down. My bad. But believing with how things happened in life, and truly believing that things will not change for you, or that you can't change, or even that you're not worthy enough. Really what you need there is someone or something that inspires you. For me, it was someone inspiring me. When I started my personal development, and the guy that was doing the course inspired me with the exercises, and then I spoke with other people that was doing personal development, and it inspired me. And now, since joining My Daily Choice and hearing how all these positive leaders speak and how they're so willing to help everyone, it's even more inspiring. And not realizing how many people that I knew that needed to be inspired. And it was funny because I've had some that have been following me but remembered the old me and had to question other folks if I got hacked. But I mean, that was fair because they knew the old me. But anyway, let's see. Learned helplessness. The dictionary says, the condition in which a person has a sense of powerlessness arising from a traumatic event or persistent failure to succeed. It is thought to be one of the underlying causes of depression. Now, on Wikipedia, it also makes the comment that learned helplessness is the behavior exhibited by a subject after enduring repeated aversive stimuli beyond their control. It was initially thought to be caused by the subject's acceptance of their powerlessness by the way of their discontinuing attempts to escape or avoid their adversive stimulus, even when such alternatives are unambiguously presented. Upon exhibiting such behavior, the subject was said to have acquired learned helplessness. Now, some of us acquire this even as a young child by some things that it could start as early as once you realize, like if a child's given up, and they can become like they feel like something's wrong with them because the parents give them up, or the first time you ever get really yelled at, you may kind of shut down because of that. And it took me a lot of time to realize this as well, but once you can go in here and you got to go subconsciously and figure out where that all started. And one, you got to forgive, as hard as that may be for some. Don't hold the grudges, because that holds you back as well. But once you can get through that and get over that hill, get over that speed bump, it's very positive on the other side, and you can come out of that learned helplessness, and then you can start feeling like your life's going to change for the good. You're worthy enough for the change, and that you can change for that good. Here's the thing about the worthiness, because so many people have that learned helplessness and don't feel worthy, that they get used to what they're comfortable with, and that's not change, right? So the story that Robert shared, and I really like this, so I'm going to use it as well. If you take a basketball court and build walls. And you fill it up with sand, start filling it with sand. Well, every so often, we're going to throw in some gold, more sand, throw in some diamonds, more sand. The people that have that learning helplessness, that, they don't feel like the change. They don't, even if they watched the diamonds go in there or the gold go in there, the where they're broke down at, they have lost so much that they still will not believe that they will find that gold or diamonds. And what's sad is it could even be just 1 foot of sand and they're in there, but you don't want to move hundreds, if not thousands of grains of sand multiple times to try to find one piece of gold or one piece of diamond. And the purpose of that is, like in business, like in, say, the affiliate marketing that I'm with on My Daily Choice, we speak with people all day, every day, right? Some are the grains of sand because they're not ready for that change, or they're not ready to move on or feel like they're worthy of moving on. And every now and then you'll move that sand and you'll find that one diamond or that one piece of gold. That's what it's about. It's the same as the analogy that I've used on flipping the cards. You want to find an ace, one that's going to be good at what they do, right? Because if you're in this type of business, you're not only in there to help people, but you're there to help them make money themselves. And when you find that ace, that's a good person on your team. Well, there's 52 cards in the deck and only 4 aces, so you got to flip through the cards before you find one. Now, the grain of sand analogy to me is a lot bigger in depth because there's a lot more grains of sand versus the diamond or the gold on a big basketball court. But the way my mind works is it will always be worth it, because even if you're on that court digging, moving sand, moving it to where it won't cave in on you or anything like that, what if it takes you a year or 5 years? Is that such a bad thing? And I ask this because that year or those 5 years, they were going to go by regardless. Why not make it towards something that is going to help you later? And that's why I do it. I stay busy. I stay completely busy with everything that I'm doing. I don't just do this marketing. I have a day job. I have a second job. I do stuff on crypto. I do other things online as well. I have a lot of things that are in the fire, and I stay really busy. My mind needs to stay busy, but that's me. Not a lot of folks want to do that. They don't want all that, and I understand that. That's why a lot of folks that do the marketing only have the marketing, and they're doing well with it. That's what they want to do. But back to the story. Are you going to be one that will look for the gold and the diamonds? It's very, very big in my mind to go for that no matter the time, and to not give up on it. Know your worth. And another thing I want to add to this is, speaking with people here and there, and I've had a couple of conversations about emotions. And it's funny because, emotions can hold you back on a lot of things. And on some conversations with emotions that I've had, it made me really think about some of the videos from Gary Vee. And if you ain't ever heard Gary Vaynerchuk, you can look him up on YouTube. Now, if you do not like profanity, you're not going to want to watch him because he does curse a lot. He sees no reason to have to hold back. And I get it. I understand his reasoning, or I understand his thoughts. And as far as that emotion that he talks about, is where he does so well is because, you're going to have critics come at you. We all know this. Too many of us let that bother us. What their opinion is of us is none of our daggone business. And it's not going to change your life unless you let it. And why let their opinion bother you? Because they're not paying your bills. So quit letting them hold you back. But on that note, he does not let those critics affect his emotions. So he does not let them bring him down, right? But on another note, he does thank you and is grateful for your compliments, but he still has no emotions attached to those compliments, because his thoughts are not to have the emotions on any of the compliments or the the critics come at him, so he can never get confused. Because when you have these deep thoughts, or if you even say something out loud, your mind doesn't know if you're joking about it. That's why I say stop saying the negative things about yourself, because your mind hears that. All right, I think that's where I'm going to stop. So, learned helplessness. You can stop trying to get emotional about every little thing, and search for those golden diamonds. Go for your dreams, no matter the time. It's always going to be worth it, because the time is going to go by regardless, right? If you don't go for it, you're going to be one of those older folks that has a lot of regret that you could have possibly done something here, but you let society and other things talk you out of it, what could be, because it's not the norm. I'm always looking forward to your thoughts and your comments, and I want you to always remember, stay focused, stay positive, and never give up.